Qin Sheng-208 BCE, was a pioneer who led the first large-scale peasant uprising in Chinese history at the end of the Qin dynasty. He established the first civilian regime in Chinese history, called Zhongqiu. The slogan he proclaimed during the uprising, "Are royalty and high officials born with noble blood?" became a famous quote that inspired future generations unwilling to endure oppression to resist tyrannical rule and pursue equality and freedom. Although Qin Shi was defeated and killed within just half a year, the spark he ignited against the Qin quickly spread across the Central Plains. 3 years later, the peasant uprising forces that followed him overthrew the tyrannical Qin rule. The first large-scale peasant war in Chinese history ultimately achieved victory. The first leader to lead a rebel army in breaking through the Qin capital of Xianying was Liu Bang, who would later become the founding emperor of the Han dynasty. When Liu Bang, a former commoner turned rebel leader, entered the Qin imperial palace, he was stunned by the luxurious scene before him: priceless treasures everywhere, abundant and exquisite food, and beautifully dressed palace women, all showing him deep respect. The sudden arrival of such fortune overwhelmed Liu Bang, filling him with a sense of enjoyment and satisfaction he had never experienced before. Overcome by the moment, he decided to spend the night in the palace to indulge in its pleasures. Liu Bang's subordinates, his generals and advisors, grew anxious after not seeing their leader for several days. Upon learning that Liu Bang was staying in the Qin imperial palace, they became deeply concerned. His favored general, Fan Kuai, forcefully entered the palace and confronted Liu Bang. "Do you want to rule the world, or just live as a wealthy man?" Liu Bang replied, "Of course I want to rule the world." Fan Kuai said, "The Qin palace is filled with countless treasures and beautiful women, but these are the very things that led to the downfall of the Qin dynasty. I hope my lord will keep your distance and not remain here any longer." Fan Kuai was a brave and battle-hardened warrior who had made many contributions to the uprising. However, he came from humble origins and had once worked as a butcher, lacking formal education. Liu Bang ignored his advice. Left with no choice, Fan Kuai sought out the strategist Zhang Liang. The strategist Zhang Liang came from a noble family. Both his grandfather and father had served as prime ministers of the Han state. Gifted with intelligence, broad knowledge, and rich experience, Zhang Liang was Liu Bang's most trusted and relied upon advisor. Zhang Liang said to Liu Bang, "The Qin king was cruel, and the people across the land rose in rebellion. It was by following the will of the people that we defeated the Qin army. But now the world is still in chaos, and Xiongnu, another anti-Qin force, is about to arrive in Xianying. How can we indulge in luxury at such a time?" As the saying goes, honest advice may sound unpleasant, but it helps a person correct their flaws. Good medicine may taste bitter, but it cures illness. I hope my lord will heed Fan Kuai's loyal advice. Zhang Liang's words suddenly awakened Liu Bang. He immediately ordered the palace gates to be closed, led his troops out of the palace, and returned to the original base of the rebel army. To win the support of the local people, Liu Bang established the famous 3 Articles of Law, a set of simple rules: those who commit murder shall be executed, those who injure others shall be punished, and those who steal shall be held accountable. The local elders and influential figures all expressed their support for Liu Bang's 3 Articles of Law. This policy earned Liu Bang the hearts of the people. In sharp contrast, when Xiongnu later entered Xianying, he led his troops in a massacre, killed the Qin crown prince Ziying, and burned down the Qin imperial palace. In the end, Liu Bang, a man of common origin, defeated the noble-born Xiongnu, unified the country, and founded the Han dynasty, which would last for over 400 years. This truly validated Qin Shing's famous words, "Are royalty and high officials born with noble blood?" After Liu Bang ascended the throne and became emperor, he held a grand celebration banquet. In high spirits during the feast, he suddenly smiled and asked his ministers, "Do you know why I was able to win the empire?" The ministers looked at one another, but none could answer. After waiting a moment and seeing that no one could respond, Liu Bang said, "When it comes to devising strategies in the command tent and winning battles from 1,000 miles away, I am not as good as Zhang Liang. When it comes to pacifying the people and managing supplies, I am not as capable as Xiao He. When it comes to leading hundreds of thousands of troops and achieving victory in every battle, I am not as skilled as Han Xian. But I am good at recognizing talent and making the best use of people's abilities, and that is the true reason I succeeded. As for Xiang Yu, he had only one capable advisor, Fan Zheng, yet he was suspicious of him. That is why he ultimately failed. Liu Bang's success proves that even someone of common origin can become a king. A successful leader must not only possess personal virtue and ability but also know how to recognize and appoint talented individuals, enabling their team to reach its fullest potential.